Hey guys, sticking with Revell kits this week, albeit moving to a much larger subject matter. This time we're going to be looking at Revell's 1/32 scale F4U 1A Corsair kit. Let's open it on up. Fortunately, as this is one of the slide open boxes, this will be interesting to say the least. I can get these out without too much difficulty. Okay then. So we'll start right here with this sprue. And right away you can easily tell just how large this thing's going to be once you build it up. As you know, you can see by my hand, and it's definitely a big boy. Now, one thing I immediately noticed, and I don't know if this is maybe my copy or if this is something all of them have, but I noticed a very smooth and glossy sheen to the plastic texture. It's almost like a mirror smooth type of finish. I don't know if I happen to get one that's near the end of the mold life and all the detail is starting to go or what, but that is something to be aware of. And unlike a lot of Revell kits, I wasn't able to find any type of copyright information molded onto it, so that does make placing the age of this kit a little more difficult. Anyway, I digress. Continuing on, we got two of our stab halves included on this sprue, as well as our main gear wheels, which are, again, suffice to say, quite huge. We do have one pilot figure. Detailing on him's okay. It could be better. But overall, nothing too terrible. Also have our main gear, which in all honesty seem a little under detailed for the scale. So that would be an area potentially that would need improvement. Continuing on, we've got part of our wing assembly, including two of the lower halves for the outer section and the upper halves for the mid section and the lower half for the mid as well. We also have our cockpit tub and back paneling as well, including our seat, which unfortunately is molded into the back wall and does have a lot of the detail lost in it, which is unfortunate. Much like the fuselages have, plastic has this shiny glossiness to it. I don't know if this is just, as I said, because of age of the molds or something else, but overall it's a little disappointing. Another thing to note here is this step between one of the inlets and the rest of the fuselage is a little steep, so that would be something you need to sand down a little to get more properly scaled. Continuing on to the cockpit, details are pretty basic, but I wouldn't say terrible. Again, like I said, it's pretty basic as far as detailing, though I would say if you were to invest any real money in this kit, upgrading the cockpit with some photo etch would do it a lot of justice. Let's see. Continuing on, we got our other fuselage half and our other stab halves, as well as the sidewall for the wing folds, which is a nice inclusion with the kit, although a lot of the detailing is pretty lacking, so I would recommend personally just doing it with the wings down. Okay, continuing on. Now we're on to our outer wing halves, which again gives you a real great idea of just how big this kit is. Our engine, which unfortunately a lot of the detailing is not the greatest. Again, another area I would highly recommend if you're going to, make one centerpiece to this kit, go with the engine. This engine, for its scale, is pretty poorly done. A lot of the detail is just not really there, and some like these cylinder heads are a little bulbous and poorly done. So I would recommend replacing the engine on this kit. The prop, though, they do a decent job, albeit, at least, again, my copy, there is a decent amount of flashing, and again, that glossiness to the finish of the plastic. We also got a couple of gear bay doors and other odds and end parts. Yeah. I'll also talk about this now. The cowling here, they do, at least, again, my eye rivet counters, you can go wild on this. Does have roughly the right contouring to it. I really can't complain anything here. The one exception being there is, again, my copy, a lot of flashing around the pedals for the cowl. So let's continue on for the last sprue, our clear parts. So yeah, overall, this is where I think the kit did do a decent job in that all the detailing is there. It's done fairly well, so I can't complain too much about that. All right, let's move on to our decals. Now, this was where I did find at least one copyright. So this particular boxing was from 2013. I have no clue on the mold, so surprisingly, it was the one thing that they haven't marked. So I don't know if this means that this is a newer tooling or if this tooling is absolutely ancient. But based on the fact that it has the raised panel lines and all that, I would say this is probably a really old kit, but I digress again. Decals are another place where they did a good job. All the colors are nice, sharp. The reds are quite bright. And Cockpit decals should help bring up some of the quality in the cockpit, but I would still say it would definitely benefit from a photo etch set. On complaint here is no additional nose art markings or shark mouth or anything like that. That's when nice that they included something like that. So moving on to assembly. Oops. Gear bay door part got free. Assembly, like always, starts in Cockpit. Nothing really jumps out. Only thing is that they do seem to want you to use pilot figures, hence the lack of seatbelts either molded in or as decal. Once that's done, you move on to the engine, just start sort of building things up from there. Tricky area is going to be working with the wings, with how they are built up, as they do seem to include the option to, as I guess a gimmick to open and close them, though I would personally recommend just permanently gluing them shut to make your life easy. Another trick area might be some of the landing gear assembly, just due to the fact that there are fairly decent number of parts to them. Moving on, building up the cowling, engine attachment, and putting on our stabs. Again, how the wing folds work. We got two marking options, both of which are the Tritone Pacific camouflage scheme from late and mid to late war vintage. So that is something to be aware of. So overall, this kit has issues. Some of which are, you can get by with some it's a lot harder to get by. However, and this is the big sort of however, this kit's $25. The equivalent Tamiya kit in this scale, last I checked, was between $150 and $200. So that makes this a really difficult option. The Tamiya kit, from everything I've seen, I don't personally own it, is a fantastic kit. Lots of options, lots of little gimmicks. But is it worth the difference in price, though? I mean, you could pick this up, put some work into it, and come in at less than half the cost. So really, I would recommend this kit to somebody who wants to do some super detailing or what have you, who's already going to buy a lot of the aftermarket parts and what not, and wants to build up something great. Beyond that, though, I would say pass, as the issues are more than what I would say a regular model or was going to want to deal with. So that was a look at Revell's 1/32 scale F4U 1A kit with some issues, but a price that makes it competitive. So until next time.